I got some interesting questions from an anonymous user from Australia, who I'm going to call Bruce, about some interesting clouds that he'd seen. The first set was apparently a single plane which made these three trails one after another in a fairly short period of time, and they gave this interesting coloured effect. Here you can see it's kind of blue, and later on you can see the trail's kind of red. So the question here is, why is it this strange colour, and why would one plane be leaving these two trails? And later on he asks another question, why did these strange clouds appear? These are long streaks, and here we have four streaks that are kind of parallel to each other. Well, there's really two questions for both of these phenomena. The first is, what type of clouds are they? And the second is, why did they form in this particular position? The first is a rainbow cloud. This was pointed out by someone fairly quickly, and if you look that up on Google, you'll see there's all kinds of different examples of these rainbow clouds. The rainbow cloud is kind of an informal name for it. It's actually a type of ice halo, probably a circumhorizon arc. Now, if you only have a small cloud, it's actually just showing a small part of a larger halo. If you have a very, very thin cloud like this old fragment of a contrail, you'll just get just some of the colours. And if you look back at the photos here, you'll see you just get these two colours here, the kind of purplish and the cyan colour. And then later on, as the cloud drifts to a different position in the sky, you just get the red colour. So you can see it's kind of just revealing parts of a much larger halo that you will see here. Then the other type of cloud that we see here is what's called a hole punch cloud or a fallstreak cloud. And when it's in this long form like this, it's sometimes called a fallstreak canal. What it is there's a stable layer of supercooled water vapor clouds, and when a plane comes along, the plane's descending through this cloud layer at a shallow angle, then it starts the cloud precipitating out as ice crystals, which are heavier and larger than the water drops, and they kind of fall out in this rather cool shape. I'll show you a few examples of this. Other people have taken photographs of. This is a good article. It's linked in the thread. This is a rather more dramatic one, and here's a really dramatic one that's taken at sunset. But it's basically the same thing. This is a layer of cloud, and a plane or something passing through it triggers it to start precipitating out as ice, and it gives this very cool effect where for a circular region, all the cloud kind of falls out and gathers in the middle in this cirrus cloud streak. And when a plane flies through, it creates this really long, cool cloud canal. These are fairly rare. I've only ever seen these a couple of times myself. This is some photos that I took in Los Angeles. These would be planes probably descending towards San Diego, which is quite a long way away, but the clouds are probably at 20,000 feet, so it's probably too high for planes descending to LAX. So that kind of brings me to the other question is, why did these clouds appear in this particular position? Why did these contrails, streaks, and these cloud canals appear in this particular position? Let's go back to the original post. We've got these four streaks that appear to be, more or less in the same region of the sky, and they're all parallel to each other, which seems like a rather an odd thing. And then we also remember we have the first post, which is about a single plane, which is flying around in circles and leaving contrails in various regions of the sky. Why would we get a plane flying around in circles? Well, we can actually answer both these questions. First of all, let's see where this is. We're talking about Australia. It's the Gold Coast. We can zoom in on that region. Here's the Gold Coast. This labelled here is the Gold Coast Airport, which is Coolangatta. And a bit further north, we have Brisbane. and Brisbane Airport is right here. And further to the south we have Sydney down here, and there's quite a bit of commuter traffic between Sydney and Brisbane. The traffic goes a variety of routes, but some of it will go up and will basically go up to Gold Coast and turn left over the Gold Coast and fly into the airport here. Now, I have a flight visualization tool. This is a recording of 24 hours of flight data around the world, and it's basically just showing every single plane that can be recorded and showing where they end up and where they're flying. This is the region we were looking at. This is Sydney down here, this is Brisbane up here, and this is the Gold Coast Airport right here. So let's just zoom in on that region. Here you can see planes flying in and out of the Gold Coast Airport. You can see planes flying in and out of Brisbane Airport. It's not running right now because it's night time. Let me just turn on my controls here. I'm going to just zoom out so you can see what's going on. I'm going to turn on Draw Night, so it will show which regions are in darkness and which ones are in daytime. Here's the night coming in, and you'll see the traffic start to fade away as it gets into the middle of the night. You'll see it's starting to calm down now, less and less traffic, hardly any traffic, and then the night will come along, we'll end up, and we'll have daytime. All right, well, let's go into that region again. I'm going to turn on Draw Tracks. Draw Tracks shows where all the planes have been. So here's Gold Coast Airport, here is Brisbane Airport. We're not that interested in planes going in and out of the Gold Coast Airport because I presume that they wouldn't leave any trails. So I'm going to filter out everything around it's around 29,000 feet there. Let's see, filtering out at 20,000 feet. 20,000 feet shows a kind of an interesting pattern. This is Brisbane Airport over here, and you see all the flights coming in towards Brisbane Airport. As they get down below 20,000 feet, it's not actually showing them, so it's showing them, this is basically where they're descending below 20,000 feet. Right here is the Gold Coast, and if you look right here, you'll see a bunch of planes coming in, and they're descending over Gold Coast here, going towards Brisbane. And if you zoom right in, we'll see that they all kind of dip below 20,000 feet at different points. And this kind of helps explain what we see in this post here. These planes are not all passing through the cloud layer at the same point, because they are passing through it at they dip low at different points because they're coming down at from different altitudes and at different positions. Now, if you also look at the Gold Coast Airport, you see this big loop here. What this is occasionally planes will come in from Sydney. They won't be able to be vectored in for Brisbane straight away, because Brisbane is only a single runway and there's quite a lot of traffic, so sometimes they're going to have to do a hold. So the planes will fly up here and they'll fly around in a little loop here a couple of times, 3 or 4 times maybe, and then they'll fly on to Brisbane and then they'll land in Brisbane. If I turn up the animation speed, you'll see that happen here. Hit a little flicker around there in the middle of the night, and I think you'll see another one in the day when the day comes around. Here's the daytime, a bunch of planes fly in. No, you don't actually see the... Oh, yeah, there we go. Planes fly around in little loops. And if we look during the daytime, you see flash, flash, flash. A bunch of planes flying along this route, pretty much within half an hour of each other. And they all will dip through that cloud layer at different times. So this route here would explain the hole punch clouds, the fallstreak clouds, This loop here, which is a high altitude loop, would explain the plane flying around in circles and leaving the partial trails, which you're probably just seeing this region here from the Gold Coast, which is around here, about 20 miles away. And hopefully that explains both phenomena. The trails are not right one behind the other, as you might expect by looking at this line, because the cloud layer will actually drift with the wind quite significantly. If you look at this video here, it shows a single trail being formed. You can just see it here. If I play it, this is showing about 10-15 minutes over the course of a few seconds, but you'll see the trail actually moves quite a bit sideways as it grows. And that's what's happening with the 4 trails. They're forming at different times, and then they will drift sideways from each other and longitudinal. But the difference in position is a combination of these two factors: the position it goes through the cloud layer at, and the drift of the cloud layer. Yeah, well, hopefully that clears that up.